You back with us, another episode of Politics and Black Family. Sitting here with Corwin Monson, right? District 56, is it?
House District 56, yes.
House
State
District
representative.
50, so you running?
I'm running. I'm in the race, man. We got to do it.
Okay, I see that. So we're going to get right into it. I don't even want to hold back.
Okay.
Because I know you have a lot to say. It's a lot going on.
Yes.
First and foremost, I would have to bring up what's going on with this cash bond situation in Georgia.
Well, Senate Bill 63.
Yes, that's the one.
The
That's the
biggest
one making all the
problems.
noise. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's just another black code.
Explain that, please.
Okay. So in the state of Georgia, you have over 127 black codes. And these codes are codes that's strictly for black people. They were set up right after 1865. And then whenever they want to pull it out, they can pull it out. And so now they're making it where there are more offenses to be bailable offenses. And
what do you mean by bailable offenses? What does that look like?
Well, some offenses, you know, we'll give you a ticket and go on about your business, like driving a car.
Okay. And
some offenses, okay, we need bail for you to get out of jail.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. And
so they're making more bailable offenses. And at the same time, they're actually just using it as a tactic to just keep people in jail longer. You know, I mean, it's a big business. You know, jail is big business, you know?
Yeah.
And in the state of Georgia, you know, we're the 13th colony. We can never forget that.
Yeah. What do you mean by that? Explain more. We the 13th colony?
Our position in the colonies was to be the penal state. And so this state makes a lot of money off penalties. And so if we penalize, you know, and we make a lot of money. You can either pay a fee or you can go to jail.
Wow. That's kind of polar opposites from how people view Georgia. They come here for opportunity and...
Well, because of Atlanta. Because, you know, in the state of Georgia, you know, first of all, we got to understand our history as a people. This is the black belt. History has never been taught to us correctly. And so we have to deal with that, you know. This is the black belt. There's always been a lot of black people here. In 1865, 1866, between 1870, we became very political people. And so that back then we had approximately 30 people in the state house, well, between the Senate and the House of Representatives, you know. And so then came the Jim Crow laws. And so, once the Jim Crow laws set in, it was 1965 before we was able to vote again.
What exactly are Jim Crow laws?
So Jim Crow laws are laws that they set up to keep people from voting.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so these laws have always been around, you know. A felony is a Jim Crow law. You understand what I'm saying? And so we've gotten better at, you know, trying to do record restrictions and things like that. But as we try to move people off of the felony lists so they can get their rights back, the GOP in the state of Georgia, they're making more rules. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they just like to move the goalposts a lot. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to deal with that as a people as we get ready to be set to take the state of Georgia.
Yeah. Now, is this more financially motivated or racially motivated, or are we?
No, this is all come from white power.
Okay.
See, the white power structure dictates that. That's why they're so afraid of black power. Because black power to them undermines white power because they know what white power means to them. So when they hear the word black power, that's the worst thing you can say to a white man.
Understood.
You understand what I'm saying?
Understood.
And so we have to do everything we can to break the black family to get down. We have to do everything we can to distract and do several things or whatever they do, you know. I mean, you know, look at Fonnie Willis right now. You know, it's happening, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you talk about mob rules. These are individuals that play by mob rules.
What's your thoughts on
law and order. I think Fonnie Willis, first of all, Fonnie Willis maliciously prosecuted me. You understand what I'm saying? In a case that she knew, you know, I didn't do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Prosecuted you?
Yes. Maliciously prosecuted me. And so, you know, now she's going through the same problem I was going through 5 years ago. Now you're dealing with the same enemy. You understand what I'm saying? And so, you know, but...
You think Fannie is going to come out on top, or what is your prediction on this?
You can't predict the white power structure.
Mm.
You know, white people, they bait and switch.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So you can't predict fraud. You don't know how it's going to end up.
Yeah.
You can't predict a scam.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So you're dealing with mob rules. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? The Conservative Party, they believe in mob rules. We got the power, we do what we want to do. We don't care nothing about the Constitution, we don't care nothing about the laws. We care less how it affects you.
So what about for black conservatives or black Republicans that fit in that party? Are they under the same influence or are they part of the same, what does that look like?
Well, you got to understand black history again. Mm-hmm. During black history, we must understand that there have always been black people that worked with the Klan. They couldn't have done what they did to us as a people if certain people weren't inside. You understand what I'm saying? We just don't tell those stories, but we see it again today. Mm-hmm. Now we starting to see it. It's just a distraction. You understand what I'm saying? Every problem that black people have in the city of Atlanta especially, there's a state rule that said it can't be fixed.
Give me an example.
Housing.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm the mayor of the city and I say, okay, we have blighted communities all over this in our black neighborhoods. I can't come in and say, look, either you make affordable housing or you get gone. One of the two. I can't do that. Why? Because the state say you can't regulate the prices of houses in the whole state of Georgia. And no city, no 500 and some odd cities in this state. Mm. And so these were laws that was Jim Crow laws to keep black people out of certain communities. So as black people had money, we always had money. Money ain't never been an issue to the black community. You understand what I'm saying? So as we had money, then they went up higher. So we try to price you out. That's always been the game. Okay, we'll lock you up and price you out.
What about people saying now?
Or price you in.
What about, so I understand, I want to stay there, but what about when people say like black folks should be gentrifying their own neighborhoods now? We have the money, we have the resources, the education, the political power, some of it. Mm-hmm. So can we gentrify our own neighborhoods? Is that possible, or are we still dealing with that white power structure you talk about?
Yes, because you're dealing with banks. You're dealing with investors who you don't see. So I mean, you know, there was a time when I wanted to buy up a lot of property in the West, on the West Side, but the law said I can't do it. As a black man, the law said there's an EB-5 visa program for immigrants.
Explain that again.
So you have what is called an EB-5 visa program that was started by Nixon back in the 70s. And so what he did, he said, look, you can buy your way into America, Asians. You can buy your way into America, Indians, and you use our money, and we'll loan you $800,000, we'll loan you $1 million, we'll loan you $1.2 million. You can put whatever industry you want to put. You can only put it in two places, either urban community or rural community. You understand what I'm saying? So of course they looked and they say, okay, well, we'll try the urban community because it's more money going through the urban community. So that's how you had to pop up all
Whose money? Whose money?
Black people money. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why you had to pop up of all the stores are owned by certain people, all the gas stations are owned by certain people, certain restaurants owned by certain people, but don't nobody understand this was a plotted design. You understand what I'm saying? And so what we must do as a people is be able to understand that the politics involved in it is still controlled about the business. See, politics and business is all the same thing. You know, there's policies. You know what I'm saying? I'm about the business of House District 56 in the state of Georgia. Okay?
Yeah.
And first of all, and so now we must look at these policies that created this situation.
Yeah. You know, I always, when I go through the neighborhoods and I see the stores, the gas stations, the corner stores, the wing spots, the hair companies that sell, you know, the Sisters Day hair products, I always wonder, I said, why isn't it black folks own more of these? But you just kind of told me where it came from. Even now, current day, is that the same policy they come across and they can?
Yes, it still exists to this day.
Are these not democratic policies, though?
No. These are bank policies. So the banking industry create these policies because the banking industry say, I'd rather invest in a foreign Chinese group. I always tell people, a white kid born in Denmark has a better chance of getting a state contract in the state of Georgia than a black kid born in Greater.
Why is that?
That's something we have to ask the state. Why haven't we came any further? In the city of Atlanta, you know, we had Maynard.
Yeah.
We had Jesse Hill.
Yeah.
We had one man, don't nobody know, his name was Booker T. Brantley.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they don't talk about him,
Yeah.
but he's really the architect of all this. But they choose not to talk about him.
So let's talk about his history a little bit. Let's educate us.
So Booker T. Brantley, I had the opportunity to work for Booker T. Brantley for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. And he was a guy from Troy, Alabama, showed up in Atlanta in the 50s and 60s, had a gas station and Brantley Motors. And actually, he was the first black man in the Southeast region with a dealership with Ford on Campbellton Road.
Interesting.
And he also built Gift Forest out in Southwest Atlanta, if you heard of Gift Forest. But he had this vision of making Atlanta a black city and getting all the power players together and helping Maynard to get where he is and helping Jimmy Carter to get where he is. You understand what I'm saying? In 1978, he was he had the eighth most prosperous black business in America.
What was that?
Booker T. Brantley.
Y'all make sure y'all bookmark that. We're gonna go back to.
So we
Booker
have to,
T.
we have to tell the truth about what happened in Atlanta, and he told me a lot of good stories.
Yeah.
And some I just won't talk about.
Yeah.
But we have to understand how Atlanta got to where it is. You understand what I'm saying? And dealing with the racial turmoil that we went through in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and it don't stop.
So help me understand, because there's so many people that come to Atlanta, Georgia, right? Or they're moving to Georgia. I seen a report where it was like, I think 800,000 people in the last 10 years have moved to Georgia, and particularly Atlanta. How do you feel, somebody that's born and raised here, and you know the political turmoil that's happening and things that's going on, how should, people view moving to Atlanta? How can they get involved? Like, what should that be like, to keep Atlanta going in the right direction?
Well, I think this new movement is that we have to come back to the state of Georgia. I think the new movement, the civil rights movement, was my grandfather and my parents. That was their mission. I think our mission now is to take a state as a people. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't but one thing we can do is like I tell everybody from out of town, can you call 3, 4, 5 more people and tell them to come on back to the state? You understand what I'm saying? So once we take a state, now we got one state. It's 50 states in America. Now black people, we got one state. Because I look at it like, when we look at the border crisis, I'm like, these folks who come from all over everywhere to try to get into America. We as a people need to be trying to figure out how can we get into a state. You understand what I'm saying? And then once we take this state, because it's inevitable, inevitable that we're going to take this state, it's imperative that we all be on one page. So,
Is that possible?
Yes, because we were before. We've come a long way as a people, but the pressure's still there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so this ain't a time for us to point fingers at one another and woo-to-woo and do all that. We got technology now.
Yeah.
We got something I call it advanced information.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing artificial about it.
I get you. Let me ask you this. How can the black family benefit with a democratic system? How does the black family benefit from that?
Because we've always been Democrat throughout history.
You sure not black Republicans?
No, we've let me explain something to you guys.
So, because what's this party of Lincoln thing? They
okay, so they like to talk that. But you got to understand, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party was one party. It was called the Democratic Republican Party. You understand what I'm saying? You had the Federalist Society and the Federalist Party, and you had the Democratic Republican Party. Okay? All right. After 1865, black people remained Democrats. You had the Democrats and the Southern Democrats. And you had the Democrats and Republicans, so we won't get confused with them. Democratic went off. Republicans, we stayed alone. We didn't really have no rights. And they played us for years. You understand what I'm saying? You know, one thing about the Republicans, they gonna play both sides. They don't care. You know, it's bait and switch over there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We don't, you know, we'll put Herschel Walker up to run. You know, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and so when we decided, once we knew we had these cities in 1965, we had power. So we had to take the party that we were. You feel me? And as the Dixiecrats and Democrats went over to this Republican side, see, you're dealing with Federalists and Anti-Federalists. Black people have always been anti-Federalist people. You understand what I'm saying? And, people,
and why is that? How do we get there? Just
because we
based on the history?
We truly believe in liberty and justice for all. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so you had the Federalist Society, now you got the banks, and all these guys got together, and so they took the Republicans and they became this big banking industry. You understand what I'm saying? The one thing that hurt the black people more than ever in the South is when gold became the standard. Because before gold became the standard in 1900, silver was the standard. That's why our grandparents had a lot of silverware.
Yeah.
Everything was traded in silver. So once gold became the standard, that diminished the silver. You understand what I'm saying? And then once banking came in, now we got to sell all our land, and we ain't selling, they taking it because they done give you a bad loan, bad contract. You understand what I'm saying? That's what happened to us. So now, and we dealing with racism everywhere. So now we have to flee to the city so we can be as one. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why we went to cities. We went to cities for safety. Yeah. You understand? Because it ain't safe to go to Cobb County.
But these social programs that came through the Democratic Party, did they do more harm than good as far as the black family is concerned? Well,
the social programs that came through the Democratic Party had nothing to do with black people. You understand what I'm saying? There has never been a legislative bill passed for black people, ever. It always came with something else. You understand what I'm saying? And so those social ills, that ain't what happened in the 70s when we was really, we went a long way in the 70s. So they had to come up with something else. Okay, we go put the drugs in their community. We go put, all of it came together. You know what I'm saying? All of it came together with the foreigners, with the drugs, and it was just economic empowerment. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I always tell people integration was a safety move. That was a defensive move.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Dr. King then was like, hold on, okay, yeah, we can have Black Wall Street, but they ain't gonna do nothing but bomb it. So if we integrate with them, they can't bomb nobody. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So it wasn't that we want to, no, we don't want to live with them. We got to integrate for safety reasons.
Yeah.
We got to all be on the same street so they ain't gonna blow up our street.
Yeah.
But then the white flight,
yeah,
they gone. They went from Cascade to Johns Creek.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I knew what Johns Creek was because the white people who stayed on Cascade moved to Johns Creek, and they was like, where is that at? Then when I realized it was close to Forsyth, I was like, okay, y'all stay on up that end.
Yeah. So do you think that this country has moved away from being race neutral and they're more race conscious than ever now? I thought we were getting past. Is it still like
you see it every day? Like I said, you see it. You see it every day. I mean, you know, the things that we do, you know, they're more afraid of an intelligent black man with money. That's the most devious-looking person to a white man. Because his game works off of that. You understand what I'm saying? So a black man like myself who can't be bought, then we can't use you. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody else is coming to create distractions. You feel me?
Yeah.
You're dealing with Christian nationalists versus the big God.
Yeah.
You know, our people survived because we truly believed in the one and only true living God.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what got us from point A to point B to point C to point D, fearing not.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so America is still America.
Yeah.
You know, they have ways to hide it, but Donald Trump showed up because we got a black president, so now Donald Trump showed up and we back at it again.
What's your thoughts on Donald Trump?
I think he's the biggest fool in America. He's the biggest dumbass, you know what I'm saying? But, You know.
Is he gonna win?
I hope not. I mean, it's according to how dumb America is. But we know they're extremely dumb.
Really? Do you think blacks did good under Donald Trump, or is that something that the myth that's just been created now? But do you think blacks did better under Donald Trump or better under the Biden administration?
Well, when you're dealing with common sense law, we gonna say Biden. Now, if you're dealing with a facade, a fallacy, then you can say Trump. But I mean, you know, we went through COVID. You understand what I'm saying? We was going through stuff, and he was just a big clown. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Trump, 4 more years of Trump, we'll probably go back to World War III.
Well, based on what Russia said, that's going to happen sooner than later.
Well,
huh?
no, because
how do you handle things like that? It seems like when I was watching the interview, I seen the President Vladimir Putin said that he would prefer Biden over Trump because Biden is weaker.
No, he prefer Biden over Trump because anytime you're dealing with a person who's willing to destroy everything, they're very dangerous. You understand what I'm saying? Because he could care less. So Trump is a person I could care less. I burn the whole house down.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And so Biden, no, I'm not going to burn the house down. We ought to just figure it out.
So what about Biden, and we're going to run through a few more. What about Biden's history with the 3 strike laws and how that played a part in black communities?
Okay. Well, the 94 crime bill?
Yeah.
That was something that Ronald Reagan them created. And the Democratic Party at the time, you got to understand, back in 89, 88, in the black communities all across this country, drugs had taken, and it was war. It was, drugs had really messed our community up. You know, I mean, I seen as a kid, I seen the good of the bluff. I seen the bluff go straight down.
Yeah.
I seen it come. I seen the effects that it did to our people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we had to do something as a people to say, okay, we got to stop this. Now, every time the Democratic Party make a move, the Republicans gonna make a move to figure out how can they undermine it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when they say, okay, we gonna stop all the drugs, well, the biggest problem with the whole drug was when they put the marijuana with all these classes. You understand what I'm saying? You take marijuana out of the drug war, out of the drug game, it ain't no war. It's over with. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they kept the marijuana in now so we can harass black people and pull them over all over. Now everywhere you go, we smell weed, we locking you up.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And so that was the business of it. You know
And
what I'm
Biden
saying?
still did endorse it. He ran on it. This was something that the black community
Because
been
that was
talking about for a while.
You gotta understand, at the same time Biden did that, man of them had created the Red Dog.
I hear stories about it. I wasn't around Georgia
At the same time,
then.
this was a necessary, we call it necessary evil. You understand what I'm saying? But again, we got to disband them because they're doing too much. See, once you say, okay, you can have a cookie, and then the mom go home and go in the bedroom and go to bed, and you come back, all the cookies gone. Now your kid's sick.
Right.
That's the black community.
Right.
You
So how does
understand what I'm
how does the black family move forward in current America? What are your hopes for the black families seeing progress?
So, again, I've been married 25 years, all girls.
Congratulations. All girls?
All
Oh,
girls.
you got hell.
I had all granddaughters. I finally got a grandson a year ago.
Congratulations.
You understand what I'm saying?
Congratulations.
And so we as a people, we got to understand how to come together. You know what I'm saying? And become one made of many, understanding that theory. There's a theory called one made of many. That means there's a lot going on in this soup, but when they taste it, it gonna be right.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we ain't got time to be arguing about the peas and the corn.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but once we understand the common ground and what we're trying to get to. So my mission is, like I said, taking a state.
Yeah.
We take the state of Georgia. Now the United States have to look at us as a totally different people.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It don't take but 51%.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Now we can go to the negotiation table and say, okay, This is what the deal is. We make up 51% of the state. So all them laws y'all done put out over the last 150, 200 years, they all coming off the books in 2 years.
That's what a unified.
That's what unity brings. You understand what I'm saying?
Indeed.
And so we as a people begin to understand that now we see our power.
Yeah.
You know, we had power during the 1800s.
Yeah.
We had a lot of power.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We had black communities.
Yeah.
You understand? Thriving.
Now, they say under that time, that was under the Republican Party, so a lot of people always go back to that time, and they say, well, we were Republicans then. Or,
No. Again, we were democratic republics.
Yeah.
They said the Republican Party was a democratic republic.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's not what, so when you hear people say, this is not the same Republican Party, no, y'all was over here with us, y'all left.
Yeah.
Threw us to the wolves.
Yeah.
And so now we'll never come back over here with y'all. And anybody who over there has no clue.
Yeah.
You understand? You have no clue of history.
Yeah.
It's a reason why we don't mess with them.
Yeah.
And these are like the streets.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We street knowledge folks.
Yeah.
You don't mess with them. They ain't gonna do nothing but trick you.
Yeah. I got you.
And then when you get tricked, now you doing 20 years thinking you can run the scam with them.
I got you.
You understand what I'm saying?
So I got one final question for you. Then I'm gonna throw a couple trivia shots at you. And this has got to do with music, a space that you know well.
Okay.
Right. The last question is, what are your thoughts on the current immigration crisis in America, and how does that affect black families?
Well, I think the immigration crisis is, again, something that's created. Because, I mean, you give people pay. I mean, you're looking at a country where we got at least 12 states ain't nobody in.
What states are those?
You got a whole Northwest Territory, ain't nothing going on up in that time. We ain't got nothing going on in Idaho. We ain't got nothing going on in South Dakota. We ain't got nothing going on. You talking about it's a crisis, we need these folks. Come on, y'all come on over. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
We got a state of Georgia, ain't nothing going on past making.
But these, you know, I'm watching things, they go to cities like Chicago and New York, in the inner city, they go to places that...
That's because the Republican Party say, we go drop them off and make them your problem.
Yeah.
You think Chicago went down there and got them folks off the border?
Not at all.
So what happens is the Republicans want them to come in, but then they weed them out.
Yeah.
We can't use you, so we're gonna put you on a bus. We can't use the women. We can't use the kids.
Yeah.
They brings no value. So we're gonna put you on a bus, send you to Chicago for the social programs. We're gonna send you to New York for the social programs. But y'all men, y'all stay down here and work on these farms. It's just that simple. It's business. That's how they look at it. And so we're gonna create this crisis instead of saying everybody going to Yellowstone.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes, you understand what I'm saying? And we got plenty of room for them.
Yeah.
You know, we could easily be 1 billion people in America and everybody can eat.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We have a surplus of food. That's why we have to feed the world.
But does it affect black families? I mean, these jobs, these low-paying jobs, sometimes, you know.
But, well, here's the thing. Once we become owners of our own destiny, then our bills will come lesser.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You know how many friends I got who graduated from college with these loans that I couldn't believe?
Yeah.
See, I paid for my own schooling.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once I couldn't afford to pay for it no more, I left.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna get no loan, and I'm finna go do what I do, sound and lighting.
Yeah. I got you.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And
got
so,
you.
but when I see that, I'm like, man, I can't believe these folks done charge you this amount of money to get this degree. And boy, and now you making $50,000, $60,000 a year to start, and you gotta pay this amount to these people, and then you gotta get this house, and then you got this loan. See, the difference between black people and white people. And excuse me, Jews, I gotta talk about y'all for a minute, but I'm gonna say something good. Look here. So they give themselves 1% loans. Always have. That's how they do business. But you gonna give me a 35% loan, an 18% loan. So as a businessman, the only way I can compete, for every dollar you give your own people, they owe you $1 and penny. So they can set their prices at $1.10 and still make 9 cents.
Yeah.
Whereas you go charge me $1.18. So I gotta set mine at $1.19 just to make 1 cent.
I got you.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
So this is what I mean by the banking industry.
I got you.
And then once the banking industry did what it did, then the insurance industry came in. You know, I have people call me all the time, and they say, we're in an uninsurable area. That's what they used to call the bluff, until Chick-fil-A showed up.
Yeah.
And so I would tell some of my black business people over there, I said, well, how the heck Chick-fil-A get insurance then?
Yeah.
How did Walmart get insurance?
Yeah.
And y'all can't get insurance.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this what you do. You go over to Chick-fil-A and find out who their insurance company is.
Yeah.
And you say, hey, I need some insurance too. I'm right next door.
Yeah.
I'm right here at Mr. Everything. And I need the same rate.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I don't know if that's going to be possible, but...
Well, yes, it is.
I don't know if it's...
Because if you don't ask, you'll never find out. But get away. And then you got to ask the next question. Why I can't get the same rate then? What makes, under your terminology of what rate, the status of insurance rates, what makes him more, I guess, a safer loan than here?
Yeah.
You understand? Or insurance. His will burn up just as fast as
But
mine
it go back
burn
to
up.
what you were talking about, the power structure, right?
Yes.
That's a different power structure you're dealing
And so, once we as a people, first of all, once we get our reparation, and I call it return of investment, once we get our ROI, because that's what it is, you understand what I'm saying? If you look at all the 5 big banks, they all the same 5 banks that slavery, the investment from slavery was able to give to them. So you look at the Chases and you look at the J.P. Morgans and the Spiegels and, you know, you look at these families, you feel me?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, y'all just done flipped our money.
Yeah.
I always tell people we invented everything, right? But they profited off of it, right? So they flipped our inventions.
Yeah.
And now here we go, we got Google worth $350 billion.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you understand what I'm saying? One man got $350 billion off of investments.
Yeah, I
You
got
understand what I'm saying? And we haven't got a return on nothing yet. You understand what I'm saying?
Hopefully we get there, right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure we will get there. You know,
Yeah.
we're definitely going to get there once we take the state of Georgia. Because that ain't the end.
Well,
once we take Georgia, we take Alabama, South Carolina.
Let these folks know why they should vote for you. Look in that camera. Where's his camera at?
Where's
It's your
my
camera
camera
right
at?
here.
That's my
so
camera
we're going
right
to give
there.
you 60 seconds to do 30 seconds to do your drop. Then when you finish, you got to tell us what's your top 5 hip-hop albums and top 2 soul albums. Since you a music man.
Well, let me, excuse me. Let me say this. My name is Corwin Monson, and I'm running to be state representative for House District 56 right here in the city of Atlanta, heart of the city. I represent about 12, 13 communities. And like I said, I would love to be your state house representative so we can move forward as a people to where we need to be. Somebody who's got to go in and stand for the people and stand for the mission. We are on a true mission right now. Democracy is under attack more than ever before. Distractions are more than ever before. And so we have to truly unify and become one as a people so we can move forward and do what God has placed us on this earth to do for our future generations, our posterity, you dig?
Yeah. Indeed. Now give me your 5 top hip-hop albums. Off the top. It could be whatever. I ain't judging.
5 top hip-hop albums.
Yes.
Okay. Where do I start?
Luckily, I ain't timing you.
Paid in Full.
Classic.
Of course, Outkast's first album. Southern Playalistic Cadillac Funky Music.
Classic.
You know what I like that a lot of people forget about? A guy by the name of DJ Magic Mike dropped the bass part 1.
Oh, yeah, they was getting in trouble back then.
You understand what I'm saying? That was one of my favorite rap records. You know, go back to college days. And, yeah, it was good. Yeah, you know.
Okay.
And you know, of course, Jesus' first record. Jesus' first record. That was a great record.
Agreed, that was a classic.
I think I love. My last guy's Tip, but I'm trying to figure out which album though. You know, because he got a lot of.
Maybe King.
Yeah, King. I think
King was a good one, right?
Yeah, King was great.
That was a good one. He was talking on that one.
Yeah, King.
And I'm Serious was another one.
I'm serious.
A lot of people
that's
forget about I'm
That's
Serious.
why I was like, well, I'm serious, but he grew with King. Okay, well, all right, we gonna go with King. All right, yeah. So King, that was a great album.
So that's 5 right there. I won't hold you. Those are 5 great albums and 2 soul albums. And it could be from Donny Hathaway to Nina Simone or...
2 solo albums.
Hold on, who you say, Mayor? Who your favorite?
Nina Simone.
What's her song called, Mayor? Saying Strange what?
Strange Fruit.
Oh.
Strange Friend. So you say you want a record?
Yeah, well,
In
2 albums.
Mississippi.
2 albums, what? 2 in a genre.
Oh, no. Soul.
Soul, okay. Well, soul albums. Let's see where we go start. I guess Erica's album was a good one.
That's a great one.
Yeah, no. But I gotta also, but this is not, I don't know if it's soul or, I gotta always go with Speech and Arrested Development. I think that was, even though it was a rap record, it still had a lot of soul.
Gotta go back and do my research, because that's like the second time, maybe the third time somebody brought that. Yeah.
So that was a good spiritual record. I mean,
Yeah.
when you say soul, I will talk about spiritual records that really moves you. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta get Headliner and Speech them that. Yeah, they did a good thing, man. Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir.
It's been a pleasure, brother. I'm gonna see you at the mixer. I hope y'all follow us. Y'all clap it up for my man right here. We're gonna get right into it.
And that's it, folks.
That's it, folks.
right.
Politics and Black Families, y'all know where we at. We here, we rocking again. Shout out again. Come join us, vote. He gave y'all the drop. Y'all know where to find us. Love, peace. Catch y'all out there.
And that's it for the show.
Good.
No fathers in the home, we gotta fix that. No banks to give us loans, we gotta fix that. I know you made it on your own and I commend that. Nothing is something, ayy, represent that. Don't focus on the failure just to get back. Young black successful, young black Atlanta. Don't lose your soul for condos and traffic. Don't lose your focus for Mondays at Magic. Don't sell your granite house, ask the ancestors. Think of boycotts.